Hi and welcome to Positively Sparking, podcasts on internet marketing, online business, entrepreneurship and digital living. Today I'm with Joe Harrison, client manager with Positive Sparks, Superstar VA, and today we're going to be chatting about our favourite apps for the month of November. So hey Joe, how are you?
Hi Phil, I'm good thanks, how are you?
Not bad. I've got a big event to do tomorrow, which by the time this podcast goes live will have happened. It's over in Newquay. It's called Making Waves.
Surfing. You're going to go out surfing?
Do you know, I've never been surfing. I'm one of the few people in Cornwall that doesn't surf. I like looking at the sea. I don't need to get in it. That's how I view it, really. But on Making Waves, it's all about doing business, both on and offline.
Okay.
It's run by a very good organisation called the Cornwall Business Forum. And I'm even going to be getting on stage with two people from the forum.
Oh, blimey.
At the end of the day. So look out for that if you're there.
Yeah, definitely. Is it on? Are they going to stream it online or anything?
It is actually. It's going to be broadcast on Facebook Live throughout the day.
Oh, I'll have to
tune in.
Pop over and see. Yeah, I will.
Yeah. And if you are listening to this on Friday, you can tune in afterwards if it's been on Facebook Live, of course.
Yep. Exactly.
So, Joe, what have you been up to?
I haven't been up to a lot, really. The weather's not so good, so I've been just sitting at my desk, working as usual.
And looking for apps for this week.
Obviously looking for apps, always looking for apps, yeah. Have a few for next month already in my on my list to check out, so that's good.
Planning ahead
this time, yeah.
Your group seems to be going from strength to strength.
Yes, it is, yeah. Hopefully we'll get a few more. I've posted it on LinkedIn this morning, so hopefully we might get some over from there as well.
Great, superb.
Yeah.
So as your popularity and your fame grows as the Queen of Apps, which one are you going to start with this month?
Okay, so this month I'm going to start with one that I've been using for a long time, one of my favourite apps that saves me so much time, but I never really mention it because it kind of works. It's just an everyday one that I come across that's there and I don't think about it, and it's LastPass. So you've probably heard of it, and lots of people would have heard of it. And it's basically a secure place to save all your passwords for everything in your life and your business.
We find, I don't know if you find this, but the more and more time I spend working online, the more passwords I seem to grow.
Yes. And
it becomes an increasing problem. And then in the last 5 years, really, other industries have become very much internet-led as well, like banking, for example, where everybody has a fob or some other method of logging in with added security.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So LastPass is one of the most famous, isn't it? Password
It is, yeah.
Devices.
There are others, that, but I've not tried the others, so I can't compare, unfortunately.
So how much time do you think it saves you?
Oh my God, I'm using it pretty much every time I do a task for a client or for myself. I'm using it, logging into WordPress sites, logging into social media profiles. It's literally, I'm probably logging in via LastPass probably maybe 20, 30 times a day using it. So, I mean, I don't even know what I would do with that many passwords. My own, obviously, I've got a lot of passwords, but to have clients as well and have to have their passwords securely saved, you couldn't do it any other way. I couldn't sit here with a notebook with all the passwords for my clients. It would be impossible. It's not secure.
Absolutely. So how does LastPass protect its own database of passwords?
To be honest, I don't know the answer to that question. I probably should have found out before the podcast. All I know is it's secure.
It's a bit of blind faith there.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's a well-known app, so I'm assuming. Obviously, there was I think there was a news story a few months ago about LastPass, and I think passwords had been hacked into, and I think I received an email from them saying you need to change your master password, which I did. So I mean, but these days everything is being hacked, so it's yeah, I mean, the only information I don't put in LastPass are my bank details. They are firmly just in my head.
Are you someone that uses something very personal as a password? Why are you someone that does something very random and impossible to guess?
Let me try not to give away my master password on the podcast.
You can just say it's personal. Now. That answers the question.
Okay, it's personal, but a bit random. A bit of both.
Yeah, okay. I'm the same as you. I am the same as you. So it just seems easier for me to remember something which is personal rather than a random conglomeration of numbers and symbols.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, most of my passwords are random numbers and symbols and letters, which most of the time I generate from LastPass because it can generate passwords for you. But the main one for me to get in is something that is personal to me, which other people aren't going to know. That it's not something that people will know. So that's how I get around that. But yeah, most of my passwords are all generated from LastPass.
You know I'm already trying to guess your password, don't you?
I'm going to change it after this podcast to something random.
Great. So where can people go and find out more about LastPass?
It's easy. It's lastpass.com. And I actually use the free version, and I've not had any problems with the free version. The only thing that I would benefit from if I got the premium version was to be able to use the app on my phone. But I don't generally log into things via my phone. And when I do, I just cope with the badly formatted web version of the website to get my password. So yeah, the free version works fine for me. And the good thing is you can use it. You can actually share passwords with other people. So for example, if you working with a client, they can share all their passwords with you onto your LastPass account. So it's really easy to share them rather than have to keep sending them via email and stuff.
You made me think about why we avoid logging into secure things via our phone. There probably isn't anything more secure about a laptop or a desktop above a phone, but probably it just feels that there is.
Yeah, maybe.
I wonder if that'll change over the next 5 or 6 years.
It might do. I don't know. I mean, I do log in on my phone. It's just a bit more fiddly because it's such a small screen.
Sure, and you've got such a big balance on your bank account.
Yeah, and it runs off the edge of the phone screen. Yeah, that's exactly what the reason.
Brilliant. Okay. So, in line with this theme of security, my first app of the month is datavalidation.com.
Okay.
And this is email security. And one of the most common things that people come to us with as a problem with their email marketing is when they've received a ban from a service like MailChimp.
Yeah.
And that happens when we email people whose email addresses we haven't checked in a while, and a high percentage bounce back. Yeah. So generally speaking, if you send out an email marketing campaign and round about 20% or more of the people on that list bounce, you tend to be banned by the email service.
Yeah.
That's because they're trying to protect, their own credibility and keep their security levels high. So they're discouraging spam email. So in line with that, data validation is one of many services that will let you upload an email list and check it for validity. So it'll literally ping every single email address and let you know which ones are perfectly okay, which ones look okay, and which ones are definitely not okay.
Yeah, okay.
And so by doing that before we embark on an email campaign, we're protecting ourselves from any chance of being banned by MailChimp or an equivalent service. What's quite clever about data validation is it integrates, so it can literally connect to MailChimp or ActiveCampaign or various other email platforms as well. So it can literally check your subscriber lists each month if you want it to automatically. Very, very cost effective. You know, you only pay a price per email checked. And all round a good service. As you can see, I'm quite impressed by it.
Yeah, no, I think you've mentioned this to me before, so yeah, it's something that I was familiar with. I could probably send a few of my clients over to this to validate their email list, because a couple have been banned from MailChimp. And it's always difficult then to set up a new sort of, you can't do it on MailChimp. You have to go through quite a series of questions and verifying things to get unbanned, which is difficult.
Absolutely. And often what you might find is that you can never use that service again. That has happened on more than one occasion.
Exactly, yeah.
The times when people tend to have problems with email lists are when they've not checked them in a long time. So maybe some of those subscribers are now 3 or 4 years old or more. And probably more common is when they buy email addresses in. So there are lots of places, we can buy data from. And not many of those companies will validate those emails before they're sent out. 1 or 2 do, but the vast majority don't. And that is the most common time when this problem occurs.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
It can be really frustrating because when we buy data, I think a lot of people assume it's all valid, whereas most mailing list companies kind of guarantee a percentage of addresses and names and everything to be up to date and valid. And often that percentage isn't high enough to prevent us from getting at least a naughty message from someone at MailChimp.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Don't want one of those.
We don't.
No.
I think as we move forward, so next year this big change happens in Europe where every single email list has to be double opt-in. And that will push more and more focus onto email integrity. So I think services like data validation have a rosy future. We're going to need them more for that reason. So I recommend it. So it's datavalidation.com. Go along, check it out.
I will.
Give it a go.
I'll send it to some of my clients. Good plan.
So what's your second app, Jo?
My second one is something that I found only a few months ago, actually, and I used it because a client of mine was after a website, and I obviously do websites, and he wanted a specific font on his website, and he liked the look of another font that he'd seen somewhere else. And I thought, well, how am I going to find out what the font of this website is without having to view the source of the website and scroll through and look in all the HTML and everything to try and find out what it was. So I don't know how I came across the app, but it's called Fount. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's Fount. And basically what it is, it's a Chrome add-on or a browser add-on, because I think it works with other browsers. And you put it in your taskbar at the top. And when you go onto a website, if you click on it and then hover or click on some of the text on a website, it will tell you the font that they're using, the size, the weight of the text, and the style. So you can then easily go and find that font that you like and use it for other things. It could even work for documents as well. You can,
So is it a plugin to Chrome or an extension to Chrome?
It's an extension. It doesn't work like a Hootlet add-on or a buffer, where you click on it and it brings up, I think it's using JavaScript. It's actually, I don't know, it goes into your bookmarks bar. It's like a bookmark, and you just click on it and then you hover over the text and it comes up in a little cross, and you click, and then it comes up with the font. So I'm guessing it uses JavaScript as well, but it doesn't actually say whether it's an add-on or it's a bookmarklet, I suppose.
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
What fonts have you uncovered?
What fonts have I uncovered? I mean, there are so many fonts out there; it's unbelievable. I quite like the font that I use on my website, but I didn't find it via this app. And it's called Happy Monkey. I did a test yesterday of the font thing just to see if it actually worked before I spoke to you about it. And it did. It came up with the exact same font that I'd used on my website. But some of them are a bit. For example, I did it on your website yesterday, Positive Sparks.
Yeah.
And one of the fonts that you use on there is a reasonably well-known one, but there was one font that I couldn't find on my list when I was looking through my list on a WordPress site. So
intriguing. We have a secret font and we don't even know.
You have a secret font. Let me tell you what it is. It is Muli, Muli.
Yeah, I remember finding that one.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it had a cool name.
That's normally what I do with fonts. I go for the cool names. But it's so difficult sometimes to come up with a new font and a good looking font for your website or for a document. And this is good because if you find a website that you like and the font's really good, then you can quickly find out what it is and steal the idea.
Very good. There is another extension. I've just been searching my computer for it, on my browser for it, called Font Face Ninja, which is very, very similar.
Yeah.
And it does the same kind of thing. So it installs as a bookmark on your site. Sounds exactly the same, really. You find a site that you like, click on the bookmark icon, and it searches out the fonts for you.
Oh.
So I wonder how they compare. You'll have to give them a test job.
I'll have to go and test it out and see which one I prefer. Yeah.
Where can we find yours?
It's a bit of a complicated URL. It's not easy. It's fount, FOUNT, artequalswork.com. So that's artequalswork.com.
Very good. So this sounds like...
Or just search it.
Just searching out could be easier.
In Google, yeah.
Great. Okay, good stuff. Well, my next app, I already know, is my app of the month.
Okay.
So let's see if you agree.
Mm-hmm.
So it's called Fastbase.
Okay.
And have you heard of Lead Forensics?
No.
Okay. So Lead Forensics is a UK company who offer the ability to analyse your Google Analytics data and tell you companies that have been looking at your website.
Oh,
and
interesting.
the way they do this is they trace IP addresses. So an IP is a static digital address that we all have, and companies tend to have what's called a static IP address, so it doesn't change.
Yeah.
So we can literally track an IP address to a location, and usually that location will be relevant to a specific company, or at the very worst, an office suite with several companies within it.
Yeah. Okay.
So Lead Forensics costs quite a bit of money. I think it's $2.99 per month and upwards. A lot, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a lot.
Fastbase is free.
Really?
And it does the same, yeah. And I actually discovered this through someone we both know, Leslie Barlow, A Fresh View.
Ah, okay.
So you go to fastbase.com and you sign up and you connect it with your Google Analytics account.
Yeah.
And then it will start to trace all the IP addresses of people who visited your site via your analytics data and connect them with companies. And it gives you a nice list that you can export.
Oh, wow.
As a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Now, this is probably way more useful for B2B companies than B2C, because we can't do the same with consumers. So it's data protection that prevents us from tracing consumers to their homes.
So it will only show up businesses. It won't show up individuals that have looked at your website.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you are targeting a specific company and you then discover they've been looking at your site,
Yeah.
That's useful. That's useful
that
to
is,
know.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's time to give them a call.
Yeah.
But maybe not tell them that you know they've been looking at your site.
Yeah. Exactly, yeah.
So fascinating anyway, to look through.
I'll have to do that to mine.
Yeah, just give it a go. It's very, very useful. I don't know if it's going to be free forever. It might just be free for now, and then there'll be various upgrade options. But hey, let's take advantage of that. Free of charge.
Exactly, yeah, definitely. Get out there, everyone, and have a look.
So that is fastbase.com, fastbase.com.
Cool. I'm going to do that this afternoon.
Great. So, Jo, do you agree that is the app of the month?
Yeah, we'll go with that one. Definitely. And when LastPass, a close second.
That one does sound like it's been immensely useful to your life.
Yeah, it has. Yeah, definitely.
Very good. So, Jo, what are you going to do the rest of the day?
Well, look at Fastbase.
Excellent.
And I'm just setting up a donation page on the Microbiz Matters website. So that's my job for this afternoon.
Just tell us a little bit about Microbiz Matters, because I suddenly realised it's not that far away, is it? No,
it's the 13th of January. And it's basically an event that we hold every year on I think it's the first Friday of the month, or it might be the second Friday of the month. And it's all about micro business owners and helping each other. This year in January, we were trending on Twitter for 5 hours. And we're having a live event in January in London, where you can buy VIP passes. And it's just basically micro business owners coming together, helping each other, like donating some of your time to help somebody. That's it basically.
And you missed out the best part. You will be there.
I was going to be there, but I'm not going to be there now. I'm going to be supporting Microbiz Matters Day from France next year, unfortunately.
Okay.
So, yeah. Unfortunately, my brother and his wife are expecting their first child together. And it just means I need to come over to England.
That's a good
reason. Too close together with the event. Yeah.
That's a good reason.
I can't afford 2 trips to the UK that early in the year, so yeah, that's the reason. But I'll be online and I'll be supporting it from France.
Very good. So, what's the web address of Microbiz Matters?
It's microbizmattersday.rocks.
And something for the future, we have Tony Robinson, the founder of Microbiz Matters, who will be a podcast guest at the end of December, I believe.
Yeah, I think so. That's what you've organised. Yeah, that'd be great. Tony's fab.
Fantastic. Well, Jo, thank you very much as always.
No problem.
We'll speak again next month.
Yeah. Okay, Phil. Have a good day.
You too. My name is Phil Byrne, and I'd like to thank you for listening today. If you have any questions on anything you have heard in today's podcast, feel free to email your queries to podcasts@positivesparks.co.uk. We are an online advertising team who strive to help you thrive online. Want to know where to start with pay-per-click for your business? Download our free online advertising pack at positivesparks.co.uk/pack. Until next time, goodbye